All right, we going? We're going. All right. Let me pick up my pliers and get some work done. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the Church of Chainmail, where we celebrate the weaving of the divine ring. I am the abbot of aspect ratios, the cardinal of no, I don't have something for cardinal. What I got? I got duke of inner diameters. What's not dukes? Dukes aren't church-related figures. Oh, I had a whole list of them. The abbot of aspect ratios. I remember that one. Anyway, we make chainmail. Well, I make chainmail. It's a fun hobby. I'm a little late. I was uploading a video right before, and I was working on it right down to the last minute. Try to get started by 8:30, but we're close enough. Close enough. All right, for anyone who's new, come here. That happens a lot. There's not a lot of room when you're adding this last ring. For anyone new to hanging out here, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I make chainmail. And oh, you know what? Damn it, I forgot to set up the coupon code. That's okay. We'll get to it tomorrow night. Right now, we're working on what's the title called? The Sandwyrm Ringception Meta Cube. And that is this beast of a piece right here. So we are taking small rings and making them into big rings, right? And the weave we're weaving them into is the same as the jelly cube, right? So we're going to have a jelly cube the size of an RC car, essentially, is about what that'll be. As of right now, I've got this weave is called Sandwyrm, right? It's got an inner portion and an outer portion. And so far we've got good evening, Magenta RV, how you doing? So far we've got all the inner cores of the 95 rings done. So now we are adding the outside. Right, the inside core is called full Persian, and then the outside is a box weave. And together they make Sandwyrm. 200 plus viewers, holy cow. Nice. Right on. So, alright, any questions before we get started? Where did this one come from? There. Usually views spike like real early on. Thank you for the follow, appreciate you. And then they drop down after a bit, and then it spikes back up about a half an hour in, and then it drops back down for about an hour. And the last several streams, after an hour, usually when I get done at about 10, like last night, or the night before, I don't remember which one it was, I had like 100 people hanging out at 10 o'clock. They had all started coming in at the last couple of minutes, presumably because other streams had shut down and they had just filed over. But it was cool to have that many people at the end of a stream. Where did the name Sandwyrm come from? So, names of chainmail weaves are all pretty superfluous. Outside of your historical weaves, like European 4-in-1, European 6-in-1, they are the bulk of chainmail weaves that exist today, of which there are hundreds, have all been invented in the last like 50, 60 years, something like that. Like, I know people who invented certain weaves, right? And that's all cataloged on the Mail Artisans International League. that website. It was a big effort to put all of that together. There was a lot of effort to design new weaves. There's a lot of cool weaves on there. But the names, you'll find names like Aeroplane or 3 Hours Less Sleep is the name of a weave. So, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Wonder if it's part of it could be time zone, right? People getting off work, getting home, finishing dinner. That certainly could be it. I don't know. Usually I have a crowd of 10 to 15 people hanging out, and we get some good conversations going. Just chatting, making stuff while I work on this. And I appreciate everyone who hangs out. I do. Made some progress today and yesterday on some of the build projects on the bus. Terrible pain, yeah. Yep. I feel ya. These rings in this tub over here are spring steel. They're stainless steel. They are spring steel. They are really hard to work with, and so it just kills my hands. Well, it's really cool and you want to learn it? Right on. Mech, have you downloaded the Mailworks app? I've told you about that. For anyone not in the know, I put together an app, right, that you can download from Google and Apple. There's a link to it in my link tree, and that is it has all the resources I wish I would have had when I started this 28 years ago, right? I would have been, I would have been so much better, so much faster with all of those resources. There's a couple of icons I got to fix. Like we just added a Discord, and we've got some tools that I have to add. So some of the blank spaces down at the bottom aren't working yet. Building a receiver hitch out of an old tow truck stinger arm, right on. But the app is a ever progressing work, and I'd say 90% of the stuff on there is it's working just fine, right? So download the app if you want to get started making chainmail. It's a very helpful tool. Also, there is a link to my store on there. 28 years ago, I started 2 years old. No, I am not 30, but thank you. I started when I was 14. I was hanging out with one of my cool uncles. I have 2 cool uncles. One taught me to play guitar, and the other one taught me that you could make chainmail. And he and I did some haunted houses together. We recently tried to get onto Lego Masters together. He was a big influence on me growing up. And he showed me that you could make chainmail at home, and that is where this all started. Do you have a discord.me link yet for your Discord? No, I don't think so. If you were 14, 20 years ago, you're the answer this year. No, I wasn't. Yeah, no, 28 years ago, I was 14. 14 years before that, I was not born. Right? I am 42, right? No, wait, hang on. It's 2024? I'm not quite 42. I'll be 42 soon. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. That's the right math, yeah. I look young? Thank you. Thank you. No, I recently had to trim my beard. I looked much older with my beard, I think. Nobody told me I looked young when I had a long beard, so I don't know. Too much math. That hurts. Yeah. No, but the discord.me link, no, I don't think I've set that up. I've just opened up the Discord for people to join. You have to download the Mailworks app to get the invite. and you're in, essentially. There's nothing set up in there right now, but we're going to build it out. The answer 42 from Hitchhiker. Oh, yeah. Yup. That special age where I am anything I want to be. Thank you for share. Thank you for the share. I know words. So, I was looking at this weave too, right? And like there's the core full Persian chain, right? Then there's the outside box weave, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, we could fit another layer onto this, right? And go with the right size ring, weave one more row around it. I'm not quite sure how that would work, but I am going to have some extra rings, and I plan on playing with those a little bit because there's a couple different variations of this I want to try. So, has your friend reached out to help? He has not, but also, if he did and it's in the Discord, I haven't been paying attention. Jeremiah, how you doing? It's one of those things that I have been weaving rings and I have not had any computer time. I did get another supplier. Now I was checking my list of suppliers, and it's up to, when I add this next supplier, it'll be 16 chainmail suppliers, right? In like 5 different countries now. Austria, the United Kingdom, or Austria, Great Britain, Canada, America, and Australia. What am I crafting? Liz, how you doing? So we're taking small rings and we're making big rings, and then we're weaving them. This is the base layer of a weave that makes jelly cubes. And this is a jelly cube. What is my favorite US ring supplier? I've never had the opportunity to buy from the supplier, but I hear great reviews about them, and it's going to be Chainmail Joe, right? Chainmail Joe has what I think is the best beginner kit out there, and I need to get one. We'll see what happens in the next 2 months, and I will hopefully be able to have one here to be like, here is the Chainmail Joe kit. Have a look. You know, beautiful box, multiple ring sizes, bunch of different colors, booklet of tutorials. It's beautiful. So, and I've been doing this for a long time. I don't need a kit, right? But people ask me all the time where to get started. And it's like, download the Mailworks app for all the resources and get a kit, right? And there's several suppliers that make kits. But I personally think the Chainmail Joe one is the best. You're learning leatherwork now, but this is awesome. There is, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm working on a large chainmail and leather combo. I've got my one of my saddlebags done, and it's wrapped in chainmail with a leather trim, which is not that complicated leather work, but the lacing was complicated on it. And I'm finishing up the second one soon. The weather's been kind of crappy this weekend, so I haven't been too worried about it, but it is going to warm up soon, and it's going to be time to go and ride. They only have aluminum. Chainmail Joe only has aluminum? Yeah. And then I've done some other chainmail and leather combos, and I hope to do more in the future, but my leather work, I'm not great at it. I'm getting better, and I have a lot of little leather projects coming up, so I'll get some practice in here pretty soon. And I went to Tandy about 4 months ago to get the supplies for the motorcycle project, the saddlebags and the gas tank bib, and so I've got this enormous hide that I get to practice with, so should be fun. Alright. But yeah, chainmail and leather go really well together. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Getting so close to 10,000. It's crazy. 10,000's been my goal for a long time, so that I can not use my phone. I can use my computer, and I have chat all in one area, and everyone can see everyone's comments. Because I'm on multiple platforms right now. I have the most people on... It says I don't have anyone anywhere else. I have the most people on TikTok, right? So, hopefully... You wish Chainmail Joe had other things in aluminum? Hopefully one day they will expand more? Yeah. You spent a stupid amount of money on leather tools, only made 3 things. Hey, you know what? It's a start. And there's... Look, I just made a video right before I went live talking about how for anyone starting a hobby, okay, like the goal is to have fun and enjoy yourself. It is... In the case of the video, I'm not saying this is in your case, but in the case of the video, it was you don't have to make something and then put it up for sale right away, right? Because I saw a post earlier, someone had posted that they knew that there were bad closures on their rings or something. It was one of their first pieces, but they were asking how much they should sell it for. And it's like, well, if it's got stuff wrong with it, don't sell it, you know? And it was one of their first items, and it's like, just take a step back. You don't have to monetize your hobby immediately. Now, by all means, if in the future you've perfected your skills enough to make a quality item, then yeah, knock yourself out. But don't add the stress and rigor of running a business to your enjoyment, right? So, if you spent a stupid amount of money and you only made 3 things, that is all right. Just as long as you're having fun. That is the key. Like, I don't much care for leather work, but every time I finish a leather product, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. That was worth the time and effort to get through it. Chainmail's your new hyperfixation? Right on, right on. It's one of those things where you develop your skills long enough, you can just make whatever you want. It's nice. You don't sell things that aren't quality, you just give things away. I've given a lot of things away. You made a tote, $65 in materials. More hours than you can count. You have no choice but to gift it. Hey, you know what? The person you give it to will appreciate that handmade gift. Right? Even if it isn't like the most amazing thing out there, you still put the time and effort to build them something. You know, and they will have that piece of you, that piece of labor and time, and it's... I've never made a tote, so you're one up on me. I have a pattern for a tote, actually. Let's see here. Let's see if I can... Is there a bigger picture of this? No. It's this little, like, Chinese food box looking thing. Like what you get for leftovers from, or what you get your Chinese food delivered in. So, like, I've had this for forever. And I've got this stuff to cut it out and make it and everything. I never have. You hope to be there one day? Yeah. Yeah, people love it when they get stuff. One of my... Okay, so not this size cube, obviously, right? But I did make several 5x5s. I did give one to the neighbor, one to the wife. Excuse me. I'm going to make one for my kid when I get more of these rings in. So... How would that hold its shape? Oh, that little Chinese dinner box thing? It's presumably like you wet mold it and then I don't know how they connect it or anything. I haven't looked too close at the instructions. This is for that kind of content. You're still on TikTok? Great stuff. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying yourself. So yeah, I mean, it's like I've had that pattern for a long time, never done it. I plan on doing it one day, but I've got to get all caught up. And I actually have the leather for that project, so should make the one. Someone has done a Rubik's Cube out of a jelly cube, and it's cool. It is legit cool. So Rubik's Cubes and dice, and then I've seen some people try to make the shape of D20s, and someone did like a D20, a sphere, and a pyramid looking thing the other day, and they were all really kind of like you could see the shape a little bit, but they just look, they didn't look great. You are enjoying yourself? Good, good. Where do I get all of my links? Julie, these are from theringlord.com. These are from chain-reaction.ca. But if you want a list of suppliers, and I've got a list of 15 suppliers in the Mailworks app that you can download from the Google and Apple Play Store, or the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, and there's links to those in my link tree. If you want a list of suppliers, find one that's close to you and order some rings. You can make rings at home. I have done it. The rings that I managed to make were the quality was pretty subpar, but I did learn a lot with them. You're very welcome. There are a bunch of YouTube videos on how to make rings at home. And the ones I made were crap. And so when I found a supplier that made rings specifically for chainmail, that is when I really actually started enjoying myself a whole lot more and getting good at this hobby. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. All right. I've got 5 of these that we need to add. We actually need 8, but we'll start with 5. Okay, we have to make sure. Why don't those match? You're kidding me. Did I do this wrong? Am I looking at this the wrong way? Oh no, this might be a problem. How did I do that? That is backwards. These two are this way. These two are going the same direction. All 3 of these are going the same direction. And all 3 of these are going the same direction. So it's just this one. I'm going to mark this, and we're going to come back to it. I'll do this off stream. This is the way the rings are oriented is going the wrong way, right? If you look at, see, these rings kind of flow this way, and these rings kind of flow the opposite way. It's not supposed to be that way. I've been talking a lot about what makes like what demonstrates your attention to detail when you're making something from chainmail, and I think that making sure all the rings are oriented on the same plane, right? The same X, Y, all the rings on the X-axis are going the same way, Y-axis, Z-axis in this sculpture, right? So I need to fix that. So we can start over here, which is fine. These all match up. You're looking for a necklace 20 or 22 inch. How you doing, tall boy? So if you are looking for a necklace 20 or 22 inch, there are several people here on TikTok who do custom work and take requests and stuff like that. I don't have any necklaces in the house right now or made. I do plan on making some soon, but I got like 40 pendants I have to make necklaces for. So if you're looking to get one done, I would recommend, there's 3 that come to mind on TikTok: Astrid Wolf, Wayward and Whimsical, or Jen Zampetta. And all 3 of those are listed in the artist section in the Mailworks app, which you can download from the link in the link tree, or from the Google Play Store or Apple App Store that you can get to through the link in my link tree. Does that make sense? So I would talk with them, because they do custom requests. And oh, you know what? There is one more. I don't know if she has a website, but it's Copious Collections. She's on TikTok too. And she just posted this captured inverted round chain that was amazing. So it's one of those, a lot of times people will post stuff and you're like, oh, I want that. And you go and buy the supplies and make it. And here, let me show you. This is inverted round, right? So there's a weave called round mail. This is the opposite of round mail. And inside here is a black leather cord, right? Inside hers, there are rings in each opening, right? So hers is ridiculously cool, and it's like a hefty chain. I immediately wanted it. You're very welcome. Glad to hear you're doing well. So I want to make one of those. That's the problem with chainmail, right? Is like, you see someone make something and you're like, oh, I want to make that. And it just keeps happening over and over again until, you know, the next thing you know, you're bankrupt and out of money, and you spent all your money on rings. And it's a great hobby. Wife leaves you. All you have are pliers and a bunch of rings. I'm just kidding. Yeah, the inverted round is a good weave. And if I had the supplies to make a necklace for you right now, I would. But the issue is that my supplier changed how they sized their rings, and so when I went to go order more rings for, and this was years ago, when I went to go order more rings for to finish some projects I had, none of the new rings I ordered matched the old rings I had. And so, like, I got really lucky with this order right here. I got insanely lucky that these rings matched the old batch that I had, right? Yeah, I've got 15 pairs of pliers. You're not going to talk about rings? Yeah. But you'll have cool stuff. That's right. Okay, can I get this ring closed? Yes. There we go. Yeah, I want a couple other pairs of pliers too. I want some more Zurons coming up. A couple different brands I want to get. Or a couple different... There are a couple different brands of pliers I want to get, but there are a couple different Zurons specifically that I want to get. And I should probably replace my Wubbers. They're getting a little used up. But I have a lot of other stuff that I need before that. You definitely do amazing work. Thank you. I've been at it for a while. So... like I have learned a thing or two in the amount of time I've been doing this. there are some exceptional chainmail artists, far more qualified than me, far more skilled, who know more. So, like, I am okay. So, but this particular project, I don't think I've seen anyone do something too similar. I don't know though. Maybe. You have 2 of each Xuron pliers, 4 Webbers, 4 Tronics, and 4 pliers from TRL. Right on. Do I still have my pliers from TRL? I'm sure I do. Somewhere. I mean, they got worn out a long time ago. They were very useful, but okay. So this is like the upside down and backward weaving portion of chainmail, and normally if you're here, you're doing something wrong, okay? But this is how it's supposed to be done for this particular project. But normally when you're like, give me a ring. There. When you're weaving and your pliers are backwards and it's, you know, this is bad. This is good. This is okay. Depending on your preference, how you want to hold your pliers. And this is not great. Come on. Especially this part where, in order to close it, I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. So, come on, get out of there. I can't wait until we have, you know, like, we're adding 7, okay, we've added this ring, and so 7 more rings and this bottom layer will be finished. So, I'm excited. Start building up from there and giving this some 3-dimensional aspects to it. What my favorite thing about this, right, is, yeah, okay, it's a pain in the butt to take small rings and turn them into big rings, right? That's a long, arduous process, especially when so many weaves require so many rings. Like jelly cubes, to make this cube, I have to make 95 rings, right? And to make those 95 rings out of smaller rings is a very tedious process, right? And that sucks. There's no way around it, though. The cool part is that each of these rings is just very textured, right? And that is one of my favorite things about this. So not only is it a bunch of rings woven together in a cool pattern, but each ring has a pattern, right? So one day, I'll probably have some project made up from a bunch of different weaves, so each ring has a different pattern, which would be cool. I don't know. I'm drinking too much of my own Kool-Aid over here. It's way too far out, man. But that'd be a cool project too, you know? My next project after, like, okay, I have to get all this stuff in my basement done before I take on more projects. But one of my next projects is going to be ridiculous. Even more so than this. Or along the same lines as this. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So, all right. This ring is not... Okay, come on. There's no room to get pliers in here either. That's super fun, but this is not. Make sure I grab the right one here. This needs closed a little bit better. There. Okay. So, yeah, that'd be cool. A project where each ring is made from a different weave. That'd be cool. Where am I at on this? Here. And then, once I'm all set up, finish getting all set up. Now, what I'm about to say, if you're new to chainmail and you're thinking about getting started in chainmail, the next list of tools that I'm going to list off are not like something you need to have in order to get started. All you need to get started is some wire, a rod, a metal rod of some kind, and some pliers and some snips. And you wrap the wire around the rod to form a coil. And then you take the coil off the rod and cut it with your snips. And then you take your pliers and take your rings and weave them together. And that is how you get started making chainmail. It's fairly easy to get started with butted rings. Everything beyond that gets more complicated, but it's not like this isn't rocket surgery. This isn't brain science. It's chainmail. You can make it as complicated as you want, and you can get as in-depth as you want, and the community has, right? But there's no reason to like save up for these some tools that are several $100s that, you know, only people who've been making chainmail for a really long time have, right? I will say that everyone needs a tumbler, I think. It's good to have a tumbler to clean your rings. But outside of that, that's the only like machine I would recommend to a beginner. Okay? In order to get set up the way I want, I need an anodizer. I have a welder already. I need to finish building out my riveting setup, which requires some nippers and some snips for riveting, but I'm going to be a little over the top for it and add a drill press and some dies and a couple other things for my riveted rings. And then I need a coiling and cutting setup. Is that right? Anodizer, coil cutting, riveting, welding. Yeah. So, and all those are, they're more advanced chainmail tools, but you can start making chainmail and have a reason to use those tools within 6 months. Right? The learning curve for chainmail is really steep, and then it levels off and goes up gradually. The really steep part is like the short initial phase. Figuring out how to close a ring properly. Figuring out what weaves you want to use. All right. But once you get past like the initial first 10 or 12 basic weaves that tons of people start with, and you learn how to properly close a ring, and you know what makes a quality ring, then you are on your way. I need to add this one because there's no room here. All right. I need all of these rings to line up properly. This is where it's going to be Is that the right way? That is the right way. You hate eBay so much when you lose the auction? Man, I haven't used eBay in forever. What did you lose the auction on? If you can tell us. If you can share that information, I may regret asking that. I can show you the last thing I bought off of eBay. It's super cool. And oh no, you know what? I lied. The last thing I bought off of eBay was the sparkle welder that I have for welding rings together. The second to last thing is a pair of steampunk goggles that are handcrafted. And it was a Hermitcraft TCG card of your favorite YouTuber. Right on. But, okay, wait. What? It's a Hermitcraft TCG card. Okay, so Hermitcraft TCG is a brand of card. Hermitcraft is a Minecraft server. Okay. Mark, yes, we're making chainmail. Making sure that... Yeah, I lost my ring. These are... This will throw you for a loop, I tell you what. Every time you look to make sure that your rings are oriented in the right direction, your eyeballs cross. Full of YouTuber. TCG means trading card game? Okay. Hermitcraft trading card game card of your favorite YouTuber. I'm sorry you lost that. I've never been one for trading cards. Because I don't understand how any of it works. And I've never followed anything that had trading cards. Like growing up in Boise, Idaho, there's no major sports teams. Right? So the only time I was ever exposed to a sports team was when I was at my friend's house and they were Packers fans. They were from Wisconsin. And now I live here and everyone's a Packers fan. And I'm not much for, like, I'll go watch a football game, I don't care. But the fans here are diehard. Like inflatables in the front yard on game day. Everybody's in the garage watching TVs, drinking and smoking. Hermitcraft is awesome. What's going on, Aaron? Another Hermit Lover. It was Dockham 77 first holo card. Right on. I'm sorry you lost out on it. Okay. Ren Dog for you. Is that another character in the Hermitcraft world? Yeah. The local sports team to Boise, Idaho is the Seattle Mariners, which are like 1,500 miles away. So there were some Mariners fans where I grew up. Other than that, we had like the Snake River Stampede. And oh god. I'm going to hurt myself here on accident. That's twice that I've slipped and stabbed myself in the chest. These jump rings are killer. That's going to have to work. Yes, Ren Dog is awesome. Extreme traumatic... What is the rest of this? Extreme traumatic depression. Wow, huge rings. Yeah, that's what she said. Oh. Yeah. We are making big rings from small rings and then weaving them together. I wonder if I can wiggle this a little bit more. Yeah, there's content creators on Minecraft server that do a lot of charity work. Right on. Minecraft's one of those things that I am too old for. I go and I play with my kiddo, and that's about my only exposure to it. It's like when I played video games, I played Halo, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Tomb Raider, Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Super Mario Brothers. So like Minecraft, Fortnite, Call of Duty, all that was well after I stopped playing video games. They're safe for kids to watch. There's Boomer playing on there. Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, I would hope it's safe for, like, okay, I suppose that anyone with a dirty mind could make anything dirty or inappropriate, or just, you know, be running in a channel inappropriate for kids, right? So that makes, I mean, it makes sense that there would be channels or servers that were not good for kids. But I was thinking, oh, it's Minecraft, it's a kids game. Why wouldn't it be safe for kids? It's, oh, because, yeah. Because it's the world. And there's varying levels of decency for kids, right? Does that make sense? Who's a boomer besides Tinfoil? There's someone named Tinfoil. You know who's actually, he might not be a boomer. He might be silent generation. You guys know who Grandpa Gaming is? He had a video go viral where he's playing, I don't know what he was playing, some shooter game. He was playing a sniper and he zeroed his sniper rifle in game. And he streams on TikTok. I saw him streaming earlier. But he is like, he was on the Unsubscribed podcast the other day getting interviewed, and he played games that I had never heard of, right? You know, and he's got 50, well, probably not 50 years. He's got 30 plus years on me, right? And he's talking about systems that weren't Atari or Nintendo. Some of them were PC games and whatnot that he played. And it's like, holy crap, dude. He's a legit old school gamer, right? Like my first video game setup was a Nintendo, and his worked on with half the efficiency that the Nintendo had. Whatever system he was using, or whatever computer he was using. Like when I was watching the podcast, I was like, holy crap. Like, I thought I was old, but I felt very young by the time it was done. Yeah, Grandpa Gamer, Navy veteran, master diver with like the big bell helmets or something. I don't know. Hell of a military career. And then he games and ruins little kids' days while streaming about it. I think it's pretty cool. All right, come on. Okay. Right, so this ring isn't done yet, right? But this center ring here is the first ring to have 4 other rings through it. Okay? And after I built this up initially and then tore it all apart, I wanted to make this more rigid. And I think that I think we're gonna get it. I think it's gonna work. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we have 3 more rings. We might get, what time is it? 9:22. See if we can't add all those. Won't be as. What I don't have enough rings to finish adding the base layer, right? And I don't have enough time. And I might not make it to the end of this if that keeps happening. There. Why don't you let me do that before? But I do have enough to add another section, so. One thing that I want to do moving forward when I make these large, if I ever make any of these large sculptures ever again, which I have plans to, I do want to weld all the rings. I didn't weld these because these are machine cut, which you can weld, but it's a lot easier to weld saw cut rings, right? Because, and here's the thing. Okay, I was talking about earlier about how all the rings are lined up on each axis correctly, and that's just a way to pay attention to detail to make your project that much better. Because it is a sculpture, right? And it's rigid, but these are butted rings. Too much pressure and you could pop rings out of place. It's unlikely that you'll do that just because this is 16 gauge steel, it's spring steel, it's hard to put into place in the first place. But, you know, theoretically, if you use the right leverage, you can pop rings out of place, and I don't want that to happen. So in the future, when I make large sculptures like this, my plan is to use saw cut rings and to weld them all. And for anyone who's been hanging out and understands the ring count on this project, yes, that's a lot of welds. That's a lot more added work, okay? But when you're planning on making something that the goal is to sell for thousands of dollars, right? Then, like, it is, my thought process is that it would just be considered something you have to do. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, if you're going to sell something like this, you have to weld all the rings. So, most chainmail stuff like necklaces, bracelets, stuff like that, you don't have to weld. But a sculpture that you don't want damaged in any way, yeah. Like, my goal is a exhibit, right? That's what I want. Just going the right way? No. Do those go the right way. So, and who am I? You know, note of consequence. My opinion doesn't mean anything. If you're able to make a item that you can sell for a lot of money, however you get to that goal is fine with me. I'm just saying, if I were to do it, this is how I would go about doing it. Okay. So today I had the delightful pleasure of helping my kid do his homework while he was had to make up for while he was sick. He was sick for 2 days last week. Actually, he was sick on Wednesday, right? And he was still kind of coughing and wheezing on Thursday. But he didn't have school on Friday, right? So Wednesday, I was like, you know what? Let's just make it a 5-day weekend. Let's just go from here to next week. And he was A-okay with that, let me tell you. But then, when it came time to do his homework, he wanted to pitch a fit, and it's like, no, get this all done. We'll get it over with. All right. So it was a struggle, but we got through it, and he didn't die like he was acting like he was going to. Something's off here. What's going on? Oh. Yeah, no. I wove it the wrong way. I should know better. Or is that woven the wrong way? That one's woven the wrong way. Goodness. I don't know what's harder with these spring steel rings. It's like the initial opening of them is fine. It's difficult, but it's fine. But once I close them up, if I have to open them back up again, that is the worst. All right, let me try this again. This goes through here and comes back up through here. Nope. Right? Right. Might help if I could close the ring correctly. That'd be nice. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. You'd think I'd pay better attention to what I'm doing. All right. Now, let me do that exact same thing the opposite way. It did rain. Like we had a big thunderstorm move through here last night. Nothing like what was going on in. I think it was the same storm as what happened to Nebraska and Iowa, right? That was crazy. There's some crazy footage coming out of there. And part of that storm came this way, but it was some lightning and thunder for like half an hour, and that was it. Wow. Screwed it up twice in a row. Okay, now it's correct. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Getting so close to that 10,000. Come on. Oh, good Lord. Nope, don't do that. Okay, there we go. Goodness. So all of these stacks right here of the core full Persian chain for this, right, are from the old batch, and they're just regular stainless steel. When I started putting rings on the outside of these chains right here, these spring steel rings, I was like, okay. I was hoping to get this done fairly quickly, but the effort it takes to put these rings into place is going to slow me down tremendously. Like, there are physical limitations to how many rings you can open and close in a given day. And when you throw spring steel into the mix, it's a pretty big deterrent. eBay is awesome when you win the next 2 auctions. eBay is bad. I didn't win my auction. eBay is awesome. I won 2 auctions. Right on. Congratulations. Yeah. I have one of those, it's a tomahawk peace pipe combo. And I don't remember how much it costs. Maybe like $100. And I just put a bid down thinking, oh, I'll never win. And it's not like high quality Damascus. But it's, you know, it's a cool wall hanger. And it is a pipe. So it's like I put a bid on it, and, you know, like a week later I won it. It's like, oh, I thought for sure someone would outbid me on it. It's like I had a lot of stuff I was watching back then. And I lived in San Antonio at the time, so it's over 9 years ago since I was on eBay. For those items. I should admit. I did buy the welder, little sparkle welder when I got up here. But whatever I was watching in my eBay account is no longer there, so. It's like, you know how, like, at first there was eBay and everybody with handmade stuff put their stuff on eBay, and then eBay became flooded with a bunch of cheaply made products from other countries. So the handmade goods people moved to Etsy, and then Etsy opened up their doors to print on demand and stuff from AliExpress, and So now people on Etsy are moving to whatever Michael's new system is. And then they're moving to, what is the other one? Not Give, Send, Go. It's Go Imagine, right? Go Imagine is a marketplace platform for handmade goods, right? So I was using eBay back when there were still a bunch of people who made handmade stuff. Handmade sellers were still on there. That's how old I am. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. What was the classifieds website? Before Facebook Marketplace, there was Craigslist. Used to use Craigslist too. Okay. But now, and if anyone's selling on Etsy, right? And you're bothered by the number of not handmade goods on there, there is, Michael's has a new platform, and there is Go Imagine. And I don't know anything about them, I just know that they exist and that some people I know have started using them. And or they either moved over to them exclusively, or they added that platform, right? So they have an Etsy store and they have a Go Imagine store, and so don't know if anyone's looking for a place to host their handmade goods, but I don't know how good those two platforms are, but I know that I'm not happy with Etsy, so I don't use it. I'll buy stuff from there, but I won't post any of my stuff on there, even though I'm allowed to. Right? Like even my print products, especially. I think Etsy is an absurd platform. It's like I sold probably, I don't know, 10 items off of Etsy, and because of their advertising costs, I paid to sell those items, right? And I went through everything and double checked and made sure that I had calculated all the right prices, and I still got, you know, charge $1 or $2 to sell items on there. Finally, I was just like, screw this. All these platforms to sell it just doesn't seem like any are good. Yeah, I don't know about the Michaels one or the Go Imagine. I just remember the progression of there was eBay, bunch of handmade sellers selling stuff, people selling old stuff, you know, and then it got flooded when eBay opened up their doors to people selling third-party goods. Then there was Etsy, and they did the same thing eventually. So my best platform has been Shopify. That is the platform I host my website on. However that is, I built my website on their platform. And I do things like stream to send to let people know about chainmail and to direct people to my store. Like, if you need a chainmail onesie in your life, there are adult chainmail onesies on my website. Also, the giant chainmail snug hoodie is pretty dope. So I just had a bunch of photos taken of that and some video that hopefully will be available soon. So I want to go this way. There we go. And Shopify, it's just a very versatile platform. I don't know if it's the best platform in the world or what, but everything I've ever needed from Shopify, they've had, or a variant. Actually, speaking of stuff that I need to take a computer day and add to my store, right? I need to add a points system so that if you spend money on my website, you'll get points so that you can use your points when you come back. I need to set that up. That is one thing I need to do. Another thing I need to do, I need to figure out what is going on. For some reason, and a customer brought this to my attention, when you go to the tapestries on my website, you can't load the large size of tapestry. I don't know why. So I might have to just delete those and re-upload them. Is actually probably what I should have done. But yeah, it's the weirdest thing, right? It's like every time you load the large tapestry, the 80 by 65, whatever it is, the small tapestry goes into the cart section. So it's like I contacted the theme developer and haven't heard anything back yet, so I think I should just I think I probably need to just delete the products and re-upload them. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner, but hey, no one's ever accused me of being smart. Not a single person. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. What is this? More... Well, I may have bent that ring out of shape. Probably what happened. So... Alright, the inside of this is almost done. Come on. Ow. That hurt. It's like I hit my knuckle the other day. Is this knuckle. Got a little boo-boo, right? And I keep hitting it every time my pliers slip. I keep hitting that same spot. It's awesome. Terry B, do I know you? Why are you tagging me? Goodbye. Alright, hate to say it, but who called you smart behind your back? Horrible, you know. Well, thanks, man. Goodbye, Terry. Okay, I don't know why Terry's tagging me. Every now and then we'll get some random bot in here that just tags a commenter. Sometimes, I guess, you know, they'll tag me too. But then when you ask them, like, hey, do you know this person or whatever, it's, you know, they don't answer, so just delete and say goodbye. Like the thousands of message requests that I get and emails that I get. It's like, do you want help selling on your website? Can we organize your website for you? Your website looks very good. Would you like us to come in and screw it up for you? It's like, no thanks. I was getting spammed by someone who all their emails were formatted the same, and they had like 100 different Gmail accounts. I think I finally sent all of their emails to spam, but I'm not the type of person who has a clean inbox in any of my emails. So it's generally not something I'm worried about. I just let it build up, right? But it was so bad that it was clogging up my minimal day-to-day. Guess we never get away from the bots? No, never. If you were doing that, you'd lose your mind and go play in traffic. Oh, well, maybe. I don't have any... The urge to go play in traffic has definitely come up with certain projects, right? Not this one so far. And I had this project like halfway done and then decided to tear it apart. So, how you doing, Poppy? You mean Frogger played in traffic? Frogger played in traffic. Turned out fine. Just add more quarters. I used to like to play Metal Slug on arcade, right? And I think it's on the Wii. It's one of those 2D scrollers where you just, shoot as you go along, like Contra on Nintendo, and it's never ending. You get different weapons and you get like a little tank in it, and it's fun. But the game I bought for the Wii, it's the same as the arcade game. It just gets harder as you go along. It's not, you just keep like you hit start to stay where you're at, You didn't have to add quarters. But I got it because I was like, oh, I love playing Metal Slug on arcade, because you could never get very far because you didn't have a lot of money. But when you don't have to pay to play, you quickly lose interest in Metal Slug. It's like the same thing. It's fun, though. You have an arcade system in your living room that has all the games on it? Right on. Yeah, I have the Nintendo Mini, the Nintendo Resurrection. What did they call it? The Retro Nintendo something? The smaller one, right? And there's like 30 games on there. But I guess there was a way to download like 300. And I never did it, but I should do that. That should be something I should do. Because, I have played my share of Super Mario 3, right? But when we got the little retro Nintendo that they came out with not long ago, I played Super Mario Brothers 3 until like 4 in the morning one night. You're gonna have light guns and pedals and everything? Nice. Yeah. I wanted to get a little more stuff set up in the basement here. I don't have a TV where a TV should go, but there's room for a TV, and you can connect it. The whole basement's wired for sound. Or it's got surround sound. It's got speakers all around the basement, right? So we have a receiver. I want a CD player to go with the receiver, a TV, right, and a DVD player, or something to play movies on. But I wasn't gonna add arcade down here. What's a game? It's a bar game where you slide. It's like curling. but in a bar. And you like put salt on the table so your little curling balls can go down to the other end. What is it called? It's called shoot. I almost have it's like a 15-foot table, and you slide little miniature curling balls from one side to the other and try and score points, right? I forget what it's called. And I almost have enough room for one in between the two sides of my basement. Shuffleboard, thank you. Thank you. That's it. I almost have enough room to put a shuffleboard table in my basement, in between the two open sections. But I couldn't convince the wife to let me do it. Thank you, Russ. How you doing? I can never remember the name of that. What time is it? Oh, 9:53. So, yeah. I should get a record player for down here. I would if I had records. I don't have any. Not a single one. My dad, he had a big record collection growing up, and he has some like giant surround sound speakers, and he's always had them, or a version of them. And so his whole TV is wired up for surround sound and has been my entire life. And he's got the 6-disc CD changer connected to the receiver with a record player on there. That's always been his thing. What am I making? It looks heavy. It should weigh about 21 pounds, or 22 pounds by the time I'm done. Give me just a second, and I will explain what is going on here. How you doing, Hollerats? So we are taking small rings and making big rings out of them, and then we are weaving the big rings together into a cube. And it's not like... It is a simple thing with some added complexity. Oh man, look at that. Almost done with the base layer of this. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to add 4 more rings to this, and it'll be done. Right? So, small rings make up the big rings, and we weave the big rings together, and this is the base layer for, it's a jelly cube pattern. Thank you for the follow. Man, but you're here. Right on. And hopefully it will get crazier looking. So I've got all of these chains over here. This is like the final weave, right? It starts out this is called full Persian. And then you add the outside rings, and that's sandworm. And then you flip them in a circle and add them to the pile here. What time is it? 9:56. We'll do one more. So, here's a fun thing. I haven't posted any pictures of this to any of the chainmail groups I'm a part of, right? Like, I didn't post any progress pictures or anything. I'm just slowly taking photos and just going to add them all at the end. Normally, I'll post Normally, I'll post progress pics of stuff I'm working on to contribute to the chainmail groups, one of which I'm a moderator of, right? But I haven't posted anything on any other social media platform. I posted to TikTok, right? But no Facebook or Instagram. You had 5 friends of yours send me the last video on the big cube. Nice. That's awesome. That cube video is the second thing I've had go viral, right? It's at 2 million views right now. One of them's at 1 million, one of them's at 2 million, right? But the first thing I ever had viral, this was crazy, right? First thing I ever had viral, it was a meme. It's like the caption was, "Why do artists charge for their work?" And it was a guy pointing into a fridge, right? It's like, because, you know, you got to feed yourself. And that meme went, you know, several thousand views, maybe 100,000 views, right? And the guy in the picture, right, was a creator. He made the meme. Okay, when I shared it, and I had just found it on the internet, right? And I was just being a stupid Facebook meme sharer. And the guy who made the meme popped in to say hi. He's like, "Oh, it'd be nice if you let everybody know who made that meme." I was like, I had no idea who made it, you know? I don't know who you are. We're not friends. And you know who it makes me think of? You know, there's a guy named Angry Reacts. That's who it looked like. I can't say for sure if it was him or not, but I guess that guy got charged with something, and then he was acquitted or something, or found not guilty. But he changed his name from Angry Reacts to something else. Kind of a similar looking dude. Put a watermark on it. See if you don't want someone to steal it. Yeah. Yeah, and this was, how long ago was this? 10 years ago, maybe? Had to have been more than 10 years ago, because I've been up here, and it happened while I lived in Texas. And I've been up here in Wisconsin for 9. So oh, good Lord. I almost lost my life right there. You're over in the East Coast of Kentucky? You hate that stuff? Like, I'm not going to spend more than 10 minutes to look for the creator? Yeah, right? If it's art I like, I'll spend some more time. Yeah, like, you know, give me a thank you for sharing your face around the internet. I don't know. I decided it was, like, okay, his attitude sucked, right? But I thought it was cool that it went so viral that the original creator stumbled across me sharing it, right? Unless he was, like, just searching up his own meme on Facebook and yelling at everybody who didn't give him credit. That also could be it. But I like to think that when I shared it and it went viral, it made it all the way back around to him. So, between that meme 10 years ago and my video of the Jelly Cube going viral, those are the only, like, 2 things that have ever gone viral for me. What ring? Oh, I'm working on this one. I got confused. I wasn't sure what ring I was working on. If it's art you like, you'll spend more time. Oh, for sure. There's a guy. So if you don't know, I'm a big Frank Frazetta Frank Frazetta fan. And if you don't know who Frank Frazetta is, he is the original sci-fi fantasy artist, right? So before Boris Vallejo, there was Frank Frazetta. And I have 3 lithographics from the Frazetta Museum. And lithographics are just high-resolution copies of the paintings. They look really good. I've got Death Dealer, I've got the Egyptian Queen, and the Princess and the Jaguar, right? And there, I saw a video of someone painting. They were clear coating a I forget the name of the painting, but it's a Viking-looking dude on a snow sled being pulled by polar bears, right? And he was clear coating that painting onto a gas tank, right? So, and he had a lot of Frazetta pieces. Do I have a shop for my pieces? No, I do not. I don't sell chainmail online, or in my store rather. My store is all chainmail themed print products like this. This is a little hoodie for your dog. I still have to fix this. It's not listed yet. The rings on the band, the hem, were too big, so I gotta resize all that out. Everything that I sell is if I have something made already that somebody wants. Like I have a bunch of bracelets that I need to make more videos of. But I've never managed to take good enough pictures to post any of my work and have it sell. Does that make sense? So usually I'll get a request for, what do you have for sale? And then I'll have the person message me, and like I just did a bracelet the other day with someone. And then I did a trade with someone the other day. But it's like maybe one day if I have enough pieces to warrant listing them. But I would need to get much better at photography. Then getting better at photography is one of those things that I'm going to have to do. Right? Because if this, let's spend a bunch of money and time and effort making large chainmail sculptures, if that pans out, then in order to get into a gallery, I'm going to have some high resolution photos for the gallery to request to have an exhibit there. So we'll see. That is something I should add, right? Anodizer, finish my riveting setup, get my coiling and cutting setup going, and then the ability to take excellent photos. I should improve on that. Yeah, if you want to be able to sell you gotta have good photos, yeah. And that's like the best camera I've ever had is my camera phone, right? They have progressively gotten better, but I have a Galaxy S10, and what are they on now? S24, something like that. I don't want to go buy a DSLR camera just for photos, so It's like all I can do is what I've seen other people do. I know that chainmail looks really good with crushed velvet behind it. You can use like an opaque cone to get the reflection off of your pieces, right? Like you put a cone over your piece and then take shots directly down onto it. Chainmail looks good with black backgrounds. And I don't know what else really, because I've never done it. I know that other people do it. So we'll see. Maybe one day, especially once. Okay, so once I finish all these, I have a dozen projects here in the basement. I finished up a ton. I had a bunch of piles of rings that I've used up, with not too many left. These rings here were one of the last largest piles of rings that I have, right? So this is a good project to get rid of all of them. Everything else, like maybe 20 other projects. Most of them are small. I have like 4 projects right now that are over 15,000 rings. Okay. So once I get done with all of that, and once I have my setup where I have the anodizer, the riveting setup, the coiling cutting setup, that is when I will probably list stuff on my website. I'll just make a section for chainmail stuff and load it up in there. But I'm not prepared to do that now. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't know what to prioritize next, except not stabbing myself in the wrist. Goodness. What time is it? 10:10. Not too late past when I'm usually out of here. I wanted to get this last ring on here that I had made from earlier today. Gives a little bit better picture of what this looks like. Here's the crazy thing about these spring stainless rings. Okay. Normally when you slip on a ring like that, it mars up the ring. Okay. And normally when you use pliers with teeth, it mars up the ring. All right. I'm using pliers with teeth within this one. These have no teeth. These are toothless, right? But when I've been slipping, there's no marks on these rings at all. Like nothing. That's how hard they are. Excuse me. Oh, I need some water. Help, I'm choking on air. Oh, okay. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Oh, this is the worst. Okay, when you open these, you kind of have to get the ends a little bit past each other so that when the ends come together, they click past. Not like that. Yeah, I think these wubbers are going to die on this job. There. You hear that click? When you close a ring, you want to hear a little click of the ends just kind of clicking past each other, so you know that that pressure is in there to hold that ring closed. You can send your way via KY. You suggested your app too? Right on. Oh, via Kai? I know Kai. Kai's a good dude. Kai makes cool chainmail stuff too. Alright. Kai had a huge Batman logo inlay that he was working on last time I checked. Alrighty. There we go. That's... I need I need 3 more rings. 3 more rings. I gotta turn this one around, apparently. Right? Because it's oriented wrong. But 3 more rings and then the base of this is done. And we'll start building up. So he's asking about bulk rubber rings. We both kind of came up empty. The only rubber rings that I'm aware of, the only supplier is the Ring Lord, and their EPDM rings. But you might check We've Got Mail. Weave as in weaving rings, and mail as MAILLE. We've Got Mail. That bead lady has them as well. Is that bead lady the one that has the colors for the EPDM? I thought that bead lady was the one in the UK that closed down. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Is that bead lady not? Are they open? So we're getting $100 of rings from We've Got Mail? That bead lady's in Canada. Alright, then I don't know then. Alright, Gizmo. Check out that bead lady. I don't know anything about that supplier. How we doing? Yeah, be here Wednesday? Right on. Right on. Alrighty, guys. So 3 more rings, and then we'll get the base of this done. Oh, they sell Michelle's. Who the fuck is that bead lady, and how do I not know about them? I'm fine. I'm fine. You spent over 80 USD on the Ring Lord? Yeah. This, not, okay. This batch of rings I've had for decades, right? I'm trying to think how much this cost me. $200? For $200 for 12,000 rings? I don't know. I didn't look at the price. It was something like that. But yeah. Okay. They're the only ones that sell hyperlinks. You just heard about that bead lady today? Well, I'm not omniscient, but I do have a list of suppliers in the Mailworks app. And so, like, I've gone searching for suppliers before. Like, I've asked chainmail groups who were all the suppliers. And I don't know who that bead lady is. I bet I'm friends with the owner, though. I probably am. You got a mix of scales, rings, and rubber rings, plus some findings or some foundlings. Findings? Right on. Alrighty, night, bro. Class in the morning. Yeah, get some good sleep so you get some good grades in whatever you're studying for. Alrighty, for anyone hanging out, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I make stuff from chainmail. I usually stream 8:30 to 10 most nights of the week. We went a little late tonight because I had one more ring to attach to this monstrosity. Stainless steel and aluminum welding, right on. If you like seeing me make projects like this, please go to my website and purchase something. The stuff that gets bought from there helps fund projects and supplies like this $200 in rings right here. If you want something made from chainmail, download the Mailworks app. There's an artist section. Most of those artists take requests and have stuff in stock that they are willing to sell you. If you want to learn more about chainmail, go to the link tree in my bio and download the Mailworks app. It's all the resources I would have wanted when I first got started making chainmail 28 years ago. It is past my bedtime. Please go to my link tree and follow me on all my socials. I don't know what the future holds, but I need to grow all my channels on every platform anyway. TikTok's my biggest platform. I don't think it's going anywhere. Right? But I've been wrong before about plenty of things, so. What else? What else? For all the viewers who've been, like, hanging out, I appreciate it a lot. Stay tuned. I'm going to get a coupon for the live stream viewers, right? It'll just be, like, 4 people hanging out watching the show. So I don't have it ready tonight. Come back tomorrow night or later on during the week, and I'll give you a code to get a percentage off of my shop. Thank you for the follow, guys. You're awesome. Thank you. Kyle's right to send me here. Right on. Gizmos, nice to meet you. Thanks for hanging out. If there's anything else that I forgot, I'm sorry. I'll cover it next time. All right. You're all wonderful people. I'm going to get out of here. Tonight's school night. I've got to get up early to get my kid to school and get back to work on this thing. And I have to go to the post office tomorrow. So, you all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you all later. Bye.